Hey.
Hey, guys, how are you?
Big Rick, what's going on, man?
Doing really good, thank you.
Good. It's cool because I get to kind of follow up with the interview that Tina and I did in Vegas with you guys at Radio Contraband. So
Yeah.
I got new questions. That'll be fun.
Oh, I love it.
6 a.m. I got James and DJ joining me. Also, Austin from As Lions.
Hello.
How are you? We'll talk to you in just a little
What's
bit
up?
because I know you got the big tour announcement that came out today. People are buzzing. But James and DJ, let's talk about Prayers for the Damned. It's got to be a great feeling knowing it's coming out very, very shortly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're so excited, man. I mean, we went into the studio about 9 months ago and recorded and wrote 2 records. Prayers for the Damned is volume 1, and we can't wait to get this in people's hands. We're very excited about these records.
James, it's funny as you're all over this record in so many different ways because it was made in your studio. Not only are you the voice of it, but you have to particularly have this. You probably just want to throw it out there right now.
Yeah, you do get intimately attached to these records when you spend this much time in the studio making them. But with 6 a.m., it's such a labor of love for the three of us. We just love creating music together. So, yeah, I mean, we're like... to be able to release a record out to the public, it's like Christmas for us, and be able to just get that immediate feedback from people on social media. So we're chomping at the bit, and we can't wait to get out and play these songs live.
Let me ask you this, James. Is there any of the elements, because you have such an interesting resume for people that don't understand this, you've worked with just about everybody, Meatloaf, Hailstorm, Alanis Morissette, Kelly Clarkson. I mean, your range of what you can add to a record has to be so vast. Did you find yourself adding any of those elements that maybe weren't necessarily hard rock to this record?
You know what? That's a great question, and I think all three of us do that every time we sit down and write, because we've all worked with a lot of different artists, and if you don't bring in your other experiences into what it is that you love, then you're missing an opportunity to be genuine about what you do. So, yeah, I mean, when you listen to 6 a.m. music, if you listen hard enough, you're going to hear influences all across the board, whether it's pop, whether it's country, whether it's, hip-hop. I don't care what it is. It's all in there. That's what defines who we are.
I know that, and I was lucky enough to be there. I was one of the first maybe 100 people that got to hear Rise collectively as a group of radio folks. And I mean, I think the reaction that you had from us was instantly good, but the building of the success of this song, we get tons of requests for it, but you guys have managed to do something really cool with this first single. The hashtag Reason to Rise has really not only worked out, but probably surprised you a little bit, has it not?
Yeah, I mean, socially, we put it out there, and we couldn't believe it. It just started, all the responses we were getting, it was incredible. And we all three are very close to certain things. Like, for instance, mine is about bowling. That's my reason to rise, trying to make a difference for people getting bullied out there. And, I go speak at schools and whatever I can do, donate to charities and stuff like that. But, it's basically, it's amazing what people can do when they all come together as a group. The mountains that we can move is incredible, and that's the whole thing. We're not telling anybody what to believe in. It's just use your voice. We're not telling anybody who to vote for or how to feel or what to think, but just use your voice and make a difference and be heard.
I know that's something that you should be proud of. I've went through and looked at a lot of the social media stuff with the hashtag Reason to Rise. It's very inspirational. It's probably hard too to see people that are struggling with simple things that should be simple to solve, but they're not. And I would be remiss if I didn't ask you, since you are talking to a radio station in North Carolina, what are your thoughts, maybe, and you can be as general as you'd want, about artists canceling and not playing here because of the HB2 laws? Because I know that's something that I read that was part of the gender specific type things that you're trying to are against with this hashtag Reason to Rise.
Well, that's a great question, and obviously it's been incredibly controversial. How every artist decides to react to that is their own choice, and they can, artists that have decided to cancel shows because of that, that's taking a strong stance, and it's saying, this is what I believe in. I mean, I'll be honest with you, on a personal level, it's very disturbing. to see this going on in 2016, to even be having these type of conversations. And that's really all I'll say on that at this point, because this isn't really the forum for that. But listen, any time that artists realize that they are in a unique position, they've got a microphone, they can say something, they can take a stand, I applaud that.
I can actually hear your passion in that answer, and I appreciate that. As I know this is definitely about the prayers for the damned, but I did want to ask you, as we get looking forward to the tour, and I know we'll have not too much time, released this morning, Shinedown, Five Finger Death Punch, 6 a.m. and As Lions. That in itself is almost festival worthy.
Seriously, man. I mean, as a music fan, when I look at that bill, I want to go out and get tickets today.
Hell yeah.
That's going to be an amazing night of music.
Yeah, it's going to happen in the fall, so we've got all this anticipation. I noticed it says more dates are still being added, and you can find all that information just about anywhere at this point, as it's been shared so many times. But that tour is it's pretty heavy hitting, and I wanted to ask you, as you get ready for this, looking forward to the fall, and I was looking at your current schedule, you get into the festival scene. Obviously, we'll see you here in a couple weeks at Carolina Rebellion, and then again in Columbus. And you got the Rockville Festival and the Florida ones this week, and then I see there's some sporadic dates like Rams Head Live and things like that. Is it hard to go back and forth from huge stage, 50,000 people, to an intimate Rams Head Live kind of venue, and then back out to the big stage?
I've never found it hard. It's actually enjoyable for me personally. I love the smaller venues. It's awesome. You get up close and personal. And 6 a.m. for the first time, we're going out there, and I've been headlining for the last 6.5 years, so I'm so excited to go out there, play our show, and go watch other bands. It's going to be awesome to go see As Lions, and then we go on and then watch Shinedown, and in the festivals, I'm excited because we're doing shows with a lot of great people like Rob Zombie and Disturbed and all kinds of bands that I've been dying to see. But I've been on tour for so many years I haven't been able to see.
And just to add to that, I think that really that question speaks, and the answer to that question speaks to the character of both DJ and Nikki, who have both been in huge bands and traveled the world and played for hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people. It really speaks to their passion about 6 a.m. music, that they literally are willing to cram back onto a tiny little bus with a cast and crew and go out and play these songs when they have both experienced it on a much larger level. And I think that comes through in 6 a.m.'s music, and we all see this, even though now we're almost 10 years into this career as 6 a.m., and we've had great success with some hit songs and stuff. We all see this as a great opportunity to go play for a bunch of people that don't know who we are, and we feel like we've got something to prove, and we want to come out at the end of this having won people over.
And I'm excited to see As Lions.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you better step it.
Yeah, better step it up because right now
Austin,
it's a spoken word show actually. So.
I was going to say, Austin, you're sitting in a room with a couple of heavy hitters and jumped on a big tour. Austin is the lead singer. As Lions, going to be a part of this Shinedown, Five Finger Death Punch 6 a.m. experience. Is that an intimidating thing for you, Austin?
Not at all. I relish the opportunity. I think that it's going to be a fantastic bill, and the audiences, they're going to turn up, and they've got a wonderful surprise lined up in each of the bands, and it's just an absolute honor to be on this tour, really, mate, to be honest.
Austin, just a word of advice next time you're asked that. Yes, it's very intimidating with these guys.
I'm insanely intimidated.
I don't even want to go on stage.
I'm shivering, and parts of me are puckering at the thought.
We'll work on that.
That must be an interesting room the three of you were in at first.
And seriously, As Lions is just a badass rock band, so check them out if you don't know them.
I'm looking forward to seeing that. And one thing I do want to ask you, I know we're running short, but James DJ, you said to me, and by the way, Austin, when I was standing outside of the hotel room to interview these guys in Vegas, my parts were puckering as well. I was very excited. DJ and James,
already taught him how.
Well, I'm just happy that we've all already taken our shirts off in the room. This is great.
Right. That's right.
It's like the shirts and skins dodgeball game that everybody's afraid to play. Real quick, the one thing that stuck with me from the interview from Vegas is you guys, and I think it was Nikki that said it, for years you wrote records that you didn't really necessarily, and songs that you didn't think were anything but songs that you were writing for entertainment's sake, and you wrote this record to be heard, I think is kind of how Nikki said that. As you guys have been rehearsing for this, and obviously this big festival and the big tour coming up, have you heard these songs again from like Heroin Diaries and things like that and gone, you know what, I get why these worked, or I get why they're different than what we did for Prayers for the Damned?
Yeah, that's a good question. When we, as you said, when we were writing the Heroin Diaries soundtrack, or even This Is Gonna Hurt, we had no intention of touring, so those songs were constructed very differently. This time around, we knew we were going to be touring, so we constructed songs that had this very live, aggressive feel to them. And the interesting thing about it is when we got into rehearsal this time for this tour, which was about 2 weeks ago, after the first day, we had played through the entire headline set, which is almost 2 hours worth of music, and it was seamless because exactly what we set out to do was accomplished, which was make songs that translate seamlessly from the studio to the stage, and that's exactly what happened. And so when you hear Prayers for the Damned, this record, this is what we sound like live.
And we pushed ourselves musically so hard, incredibly hard. Like, for instance, I mean, I think this is our most guitar heavy albums that we've ever done.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're incredibly big arena rock, and that's what we wanted to add to our catalog. We have a great catalog of songs, but to put out 2 albums worth of arena rock songs is just awesome to pull from.
I know we're running short in time. I can't wait to see the show, and I actually have so many questions that I thought of, and hopefully I'll run into you guys at Rebellion, even if it's not recorded. I just kind of want to talk about the whole thing with YouTube, and read that article and how you guys are trying to help smaller bands. I know we don't have time to get into that, but if you, I will post that to our Facebook page when I play this interview. So
great, let's definitely continue that conversation, and let's hang out when we're there.
Yeah,
absolutely. It'll be great to see you guys again. It'll be great finally to see you live. This is my first chance.
It's going to be killer.
It's going to be fun.
I can't wait. Thank you guys, DJ. Thank you, James, as well, and Austin. Good luck with this crowd. From what I know, it's kind of an interesting scene. So.
Yeah, it's all rather hairy, I hear. I'm very excited.
Can we put our shirts back on now?
Yes, you guys, no more shirts and skins.
We'll have a Trojan endorsement before it's over.
That is raging.
Thanks, man. Thanks for the party, Sue.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you at the Rebellion.
Cheers.